Late today, State Attorney General sued the Speaker of the House over his refusal to swear in a duly elected member of Congress. And in that lawsuit, Arizona Attorney General Kris Mayes did not mince words at all. Her lawsuit reads, quote, "This case is about whether someone duly elected to the House who indisputably meets the constitutional qualifications of the office may be denied her rightful office simply because the Speaker has decided to keep the House out of regular session. If the Speaker were granted that authority, he could thwart the people's choice of who should represent them in Congress by denying them representation for a significant portion of the two-year term provided by the Constitution." Goes on to say, fortunately, the Constitution does not give that authority to the Speaker or anyone else. Constitutional rights cannot be used as a bargaining chip. As I told you, she did not mince words. And joining me now is Arizona Attorney General Kris Mayes. It's great to see you. Thank you for taking the time this evening. Last week, you said this might be coming. I mean, you gave Mike Johnson 2 days to swear in Grijalva before filing this lawsuit, which is quite a heads up. He continued to refuse, so here we are. Explain for us, I gave a little bit of, I read a little bit from it, but explain to us the argument you're making in this lawsuit and what will happen if a judge agrees with you.
Thanks, Jen. Well, basically what we're saying in this lawsuit, and it's really too bad that I had to file it, but we're saying, Mike Johnson, you're violating the law and you're violating the Constitution by refusing to swear in Adelita Grijalva, who was elected to Congress from the 7th District in Arizona now more than 4 weeks ago. And by not swearing her in, he is depriving 813,000 Arizonans of representation. That's called taxation without representation. We fought a revolution war over that. And so we're asking a court to declare that if Mike Johnson refuses to do his job, that a judge can swear her in, and then she would become a fully vested member of Congress, which she should be right now.
No question. I talked to her last week. As you said, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who rely on the representatives in her district. So it sounds like a judge could swear her in if the judge rules in that way. You just filed this today, but it has been weeks, as you said. When could there be a ruling? How soon do you think that could happen?
I mean, it's a great question. We don't know for sure, but I will say this. We are asking and will be asking for swift action. We would really like a federal judge in Washington, D.C. That's where we filed this case to rule on this quickly. Every day, every minute that goes by is a minute that Arizonans are harmed and that Adelita cannot get to work. You know, we've recently had flooding here. That she would like to be working on. We know that she can't help people with their Social Security benefits. She can't help people with their veterans benefits. She can't work on the ACA issue. And of course, she is the final vote on the Epstein file discharge petition, which many speculate may be the reason that she's not been sworn in already.
I think it probably is the reason. But it also means, as you said, people rely on these districts and these offices for so much constituent services. That's what members of Congress do. And Mike Johnson is preventing her from being able to do that. He was asked about this today. I don't know if you've seen it, but I just want to play it and talk to you about it on the other side.
I think it's patently absurd. We run the House. She has no jurisdiction. We're following the precedent. She's looking for national publicity. Apparently she's gotten some of it, but good luck with that.
He's talking about you there, which you have a smile on your face and you're kind of laughing about it. I mean, he handled that a bit like a disgruntled child, but he also doesn't seem like he is budging. If a judge agrees with you and agrees to swear her in, I mean, is there anything he can do to refuse to abide by the order, anything he can do to stop it?
No, and that's the point. This is serious business. Whatever Mike Johnson thinks about, me, he has a constitutional duty that he is violating every day by not swearing Adelita Grijalva in. And just think about the precedent that this would set if we allowed this to happen. What's going to happen in 2026? Does Mike Johnson think he can refuse to seat whoever is elected on the Democratic side of the aisle in 2026? And so what happens in this case could become very, very important down the road. But, this is really about Adelita. It's about the 7th District of Arizona and the fact that There are 800,000 people who are being taxed without representation for no good reason other than Mike Johnson is clearly playing politics. And, we'll see what a judge has to say about all of this.
It is definitely about Congresswoman-elect, or Congresswoman as I called her last week, Grijalva. But you referenced the precedent, and you referenced this. I read some of this in the introduction here. It seems, and I just want to call this out because this is important for people watching right now to understand. There is a very small margin House Republicans have. This precedent of not swearing her in, it feels like it could set a precedent for 2026. If Democrats win back the House by a couple of seats, that he could refuse. How central is that? And how much do you think people across the country should be focused on that as a possibility?
I think it's really scary, and I think you're right to bring it up. And that's why I took this very seriously. This is not a game, and we're not messing around. We are in this to win it. It's an important case. And it could have serious implications for 2026. And we know that the law and the case law are on our side. A court has already ruled that in the 1960s that no Speaker of the House can deny a duly elected member of Congress from being seated. And there are only there's only a specific role for the speaker to play. And once somebody has been elected, certainly once they've been certified, which she has, the Speaker of the House must allow her to take the oath. Again, if Mike Johnson can't do his job, then we're going to be obviously asking a judge to allow Adelita Grijalva to get it done another way. We'll have somebody else do his job.
It's just, well, there's a lot of people who need to be doing this job right now for a variety of reasons. We'll talk about that more in the show. Arizona Attorney General Kris Mayes, it's good to see fighting back, and also that the Speaker of the House is not all powerful. It's important for people to remember. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Jen.